I purposely pulled all of these that I knew from the first layer out of the way because I knew they're going to be affecting me in the last layer. So let's see how we're going to do this. Generally speaking, we're going to fill in all of these round gaps here and then put the center in last. So I'm anticipating this here, and I kind of put these together here. This is going to be our last step. Put this out over here. I'll find the other center pieces. This comes here. And we need one more. I know it exists because I did a roll call and everything was here. Panicked just a little bit, but there it is. Alright, this I'm going to be putting in last. And as a matter of fact, I might as well put the corners that come in with this. And these are the Olds corners. Well, actually, no, they're not the Olds corners at that point. These corners here. So I'm just going to slide this into here. And as these guys are going to come in last, I'm just going to put these together and put them out of the way. Alright. This comes here, and I've got one more, and like I say, I know it exists because I did a roll call before that, so this fits nicely over here. Alright, this is going to be the center that we're going to put in, our very last center, as it comes into here. So now let's start filling things in. Okay, so now we just have to remember what it was we did, and all the different, what I put in first, I guess, is the pieces that go deep into the center, like this one. So this is going to be something that goes deep into the center, as are these corner pieces, as you recall. So I'm going to try to find where exactly they go, because once I get the core pieces in, then I can put the other ones around it. So there, fit. Yep, that fits perfectly over there. Nothing too complicated about that. This can go here. That go all the way down to the core because I don't have to fish what I put in out to do that. And this goes here. So looking good. And our last and final big old corner piece over here. And this guy over here. Or over here. Okay, so now I have this configuration over here, and you can see this is eventually going to fit over into here and then be cycled in. Now there's still a mystery in my mind, and that's this guy here. I don't know what the role of this guy is exactly. I wonder if it's a duplicate, who knows, but we'll find out if it plays a role or not. So now I'm going to start filling in these guys, and I'm just going to look to see on the bottom here which ones I used. So I can see that this slopes in, so I need to use something that slopes the up and down, which will be these guys here. So this will come here and fits into the groove here. This fits into the groove here. So no big issue there. And I'll just march around here doing the same thing. Oop, other side. Fits in here. Fits in here. Boy, even if you don't use it as a twisty puzzle, it sure makes a challenging jigsaw puzzle. And even if you don't want to solve it or try it, it's still almost worth the price of admission just to use it for this purpose. Alright, so I'm just going to put in all the remaining ones in no particular order, no particular scheme. Now, this whole time I'm doing it, again, this is my first time assembling it. I may have to take some things out if things don't quite work, so that's okay. So now my assumption is that these pieces are going to find its way in to here, and it might necessitate removing some things because this actually goes deep into the core. Now, can I just pop it in? And the answer is yes. So I don't think there would be a problem there. So this kind of finds its way in. You just sort of place it in. Now, of all of Greg's work, all of his buildings, all of his projects, I've never had pieces pop on me. And you can really see when you put this together why that's the case. It's so airtight, the way things just kind of naturally fall into place. Even if you don't really know exactly what you're doing, it still is a lot of fun. And this goes to here. Place this one here. Oh. Now the more you're putting in, the more tension is building in the mechanics of this. So it just takes a little bit more elbow grease. And plop. Okay. So we're good over here. Now we just have to fill this in. You can see this is where things are going to get old. Interesting shape there. And that's where these little pieces come in. Now, here's my challenge. How to find that. I think these guys these guys fit snug over here. So I'm just going to put these in place. It's angulated, so they're not going to fall out on me. That's these guys, if you remember. And I'm just kind of working backwards from where I started. Alright, that's good over here. And now I think these other pieces just kind of slide into... This guy was so anxious to get in there, it just jumped out of my hand to get in there. And let's see where they go. Now if I get confused, I can always turn this upside down and see where things are at. But I think we're putting these old pieces in now. So there's this, and I think this. I'm just going to follow the angulation right over here. This goes here, this goes here. And then I believe these pieces came in just off to the side. Maybe I should put that in first. Maybe somehow that coordinates things a little better. Yeah, so that holds that in place. So what I'm going to do is put these pieces in and then put the old centers in later. And it really does slip in quite nicely. If I do it in the correct order. And this just slips right in here. Or, in this case, pops right in. Okay, very good. And I'm just following the curve of this line over here with this curve. I won't worry about that yet. This comes into here. Actually, I won't worry about any of those yet. This comes into here. And I'll place this just to hold everything in place. Awesome. Okay, so looking good. This is obviously the wrong piece. And this is the wrong piece. I just so happened to randomly pick two that were the wrong ones. Whoops. Now I have other puzzles that have these old pieces here, and I've always wondered how they stay in place, but they don't pop. Once it's screwed in, it really it's really quite stable. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing with both sides. I'm not going to angulate it down just because it's going to be hard to keep things in place that way. This comes here. I'll put this last of the corner areas of the center in. Put this in. Okay, this is what we have now. These are my leftover pieces. This obviously goes here. Now here's my question. What are these pieces? What do I have left over here? Does this just go in? Oh, no, obviously not. So we have other semi-old pieces which are these guys. So that's going to go here. This is going to go here. And this guy's going to slide in right over here. Okay, so now it forms like a square, and I believe all I have to do now is put this in. Which begs the question, what is this? There's no missing pieces, so I don't know. But in any case, what I'm going to do is plop this in here. And now it's just a matter of screwing it in. No muss, no fuss. Bring this out here. And now we make our last surgical incision. Okay. Now it'll be held in and held together by the tension of the screws. So I'm just going to keep screwing it in until I think we're where we need to be. Okay, good. What I'm going to do is loosen it a little bit. Okay. And let's see what we've got. Okay. And for the sake of completeness, I can go ahead and pop the caps on. And see what we got. So this is a 6 by 7 by 7. Very nice here. Very nice here. Nice here. Now, that sandpapery sound that you hear, this is initial sounds. This is the initial sounds of the puzzle. Because in actuality what's happening is when I'm doing this, I'm not just loosening it. I'm actually molding the material to the best friction here. You can lubricate it, but honestly with these puzzles you don't have to, because the nylon material gets sanded down as you turn it. And it gets sanded in the position that's needed. So this layer works good. Now this is odd to even asymmetry, so there is no shape shifting in this puzzle. Okay, now we're going to get to some of the core turns here. Very nice. Oh, that was just the cap, so that's no problem. Turn this. Very nice. Right out of the box, or right out of the gate, so to speak, the turning is actually very good. Alright, some places more loose than others. Alright, let's turn it from this axis here. Perfect. Excellent. And again, it's not the stiffness that's I'm concerned about. That I know I can either lubricate or just gets naturally sanded down. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. These last layers seem to be okay. Now, like I say, there's no shape shifting in this puzzle, so I can do a 90-degree turn, say, here, and that's all it's going to do. But I can do 90-degree turns here, and then come across like this. So it's much like the 5 by 5 by 4. Okay. I think we're okay with tension. I'm just going to work with it. Maybe release the tension a little bit. My hope is I don't have to do that with the hidden layers, but you can see once again the difference between odd to even. When it's odd, you have parts of the core poking right out at you. If it's even, then it's hidden from you. The end result, though, when you don't know that, is it's all here. I have an extra piece. Yeah, you never know when I might need it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to work with this. I'm going to just continue to move it, see where things go with it, and next will come the stickers. All right. Very nice. So far, so good. You know, I wanted to show some of the movement here. I actually haven't really played around with it too much, but even just a couple of turns and it really moves well. No lubrication is needed with this. You saw the assembly, and the assembly was pretty straightforward, and every axis is turning really, really quite well. So you can see every layer here. Nice looking puzzle. Again, you know, just a little bit of sticky points to put together, but otherwise pretty easy. All you need are those screws, 6 screws, M8 screws that you can get from Cube for You. And there you have it. So I think it's pretty well, I think it moves pretty well on pretty much all axes. Obviously it's going to get better and better as I work it in, but very happy with it right now. Okay. So, as you can see, the stickers have come, so I am going to apply them. Again, I like to use a little bit of super glue as I'm applying it on there, just a tiny little drop. Need something of a knife or some such to apply it, and just find something that you can apply it a little bit. You don't have to necessarily do this, but I find that it helps prevent any slippage of stickers over time, which can happen. So what I'm going to do is continue to apply it and then see what we got. Because of the small size of these stickers, be very careful with the super glue, because you don't want it getting on places that you don't want it to get onto. Okay, so I've got the first side done, and what I'm going to do is do the typical Rubik's Cube pattern as I've pointed out before, starting with the white on top. You've got red, white, and blue at the side, and then you do the typical colors that go opposite each other. So opposite blue will be green, opposite red will be yellow, and opposite white, orange, red will be orange, and opposite white will be yellow. So I'm going to just apply that as well. So just to go in order, I'm going to go ahead and do red next. Okay, so here's the finished product, the 6x7x7, fully stickered and fully assembled. Very happy with it. I really like the black colored puzzle. I've been working with the movement a little bit. I did have to super glue the caps down. That is a very harrowing experience because I don't want to super glue something that shouldn't be super glued. As with all of Gregory's products, it's very, very stable. There is a little bit of popping that has happened with a piece here, but that's easily popped in. That may have more to do with my own tensioning of it, but otherwise it looks okay. So this is a non-shape-shifting puzzle because it displays asymmetry between various layers as a 6x7x7. So the solve, I think, is going to be interesting, perhaps challenging, so I'll be coming back with that. I'm going to just continue to work with it, but once again, the movement is very, very good. It's a very cute puzzle, very compact, which I like. A lot of the high-order puzzles have the Olsing effect, and sometimes they have to expand them out. I think the Olsing effect has been minimized with this one, so a nice little addition to the collection. So there you have it, the solve. Rather, the assembly, the solve will be coming next. Thanks for watching.